Hey y'all, Corey here from Ensemble, Texas. Excited to welcome you back here for another garden tour here in my landscape in San Antonio, Texas. And so, haven't done many of these, but I do want to do more of them for an important reason. Some good news. I was awarded a grant from the city of San Antonio, the Office of Sustainability, as part of the Climate Ready Action Fund. And that was for a project proposal I put together to turn our home landscape here into a Texas native plant demonstration garden. And so very exciting, thrilled that the city is investing in projects like this. My project for the purpose of, broadly speaking, education and raising awareness about the importance of Texas native plants, and as well the practical application of how to get them in the ground, what plants to select, but also for more of the direct benefits as well as to how getting more native plants into our landscapes can help us greater adapt to our changing climate. One being affecting or mitigating the urban heat island effect, as all this vegetation in one way or another acts essentially as air conditioners, more effective than air conditioners, and improving air quality, also decreasing the need for supplemental irrigation and increasing water infiltration, and of course, very importantly, increasing biodiversity. And so these are going to be me documenting the many projects that are taking place on site, setting baselines here, as well for what things look like, at least at the moment. I've done some work obviously up until the point. It's nice to have the city support this and inject some resources into this to really help me turn this into something special for the city and our neighborhood here in San Antonio. And so I want to document, like I said, projects as well, some successes and failures along the way of what lessons I'm learning. And so what I'm going to do here is just kind of a stream of consciousness, share with you what's happening here on site, what some future plans are, and maybe what plans have changed, while also highlighting some bright spots in the garden or maybe some challenges that I've had. So we're going to start right at the front of our landscape here. This is typically the hottest and driest portion of our property. This part here, this little side garden is one that I actually was able to invest in with a SAWS, our City Water Service Water Saver coupon. And so before November 15th, I do have to finish mulching out this entire space and get all the required quantity of turf grass out of here. And so SAWS does give you a $100 gift card, I believe, for every, I think, 100 square feet of grass that you can remove. And I think there's a limit up to 4 per SAWS account. So I have a variety of plants here. One I think actually that's really notable is this Ratama, this young Ratama tree. And so this wasn't part of the Water Saver coupon. It was a tree that I actually got from a friend of mine who's part of the Texas Master Naturalist organization. And I'll probably cross this with a shot of what it looked like last year. But this has grown really rather tremendously. And this is pretty typical of what a Ratama is supposed to do. It's supposed to grow very fast. It's technically a short-lived tree in the ballpark of 30 years, more or less. But it's a very early on in the succession of your ecosystem type tree. It's a nitrogen fixer, meaning that it's going to supply all nutrients to the plants around it. And as it grows very fast and quick, it's something that can provide some early shade that can create the conditions for the next phase of trees and other species to grow and thrive. And so this has grown, maybe 5-6 feet this year. And that's been a lot of fun to watch. We also have this Blackfoot daisy right here, which is really taking off here in fall. It is September 25th as I'm recording this, and this looks really, really great. The Copper Canyon daisy here, something that smells incredible, flowers out earlier in spring. We have a fragrant mimosa, more of a West Texas native plant here, but I really do enjoy the small pink blooms, which likewise I'll probably add another shot to. It's overgrown with Esperanza. I definitely am impatient and grow things quite close together because I want them to fill in. But I have two of these fragrant mimosa here, particularly prickly plants. They remind me of a Weisach, maybe. But when they bloom, which they do periodically more so through spring, those are really special, beautiful blooms. And so we have this front section here, which is ultimately what we're going to turn into something of a living fence. And so while we may actually attempt to get a real fence here, unfortunately, stray dogs are certainly a problem, and we have a 3-year-old and soon to be 1-year-old. We want to keep them safe. Nonetheless, this area in front, which I have received a city notice of citation for the length of grass. I do have to get this mowed over the course of the next 2 weeks. We will turn into kind of a privacy screen. And so this is going to be a big focus of the demonstration garden is focusing on function. And so, while it's great to talk about the variety of things of, the prairies and, riparian areas and all these varieties of important habitats that exist throughout Texas, I think that, people might be looking for solutions to problems that they want to solve as it relates to their home landscape. This spot here on the opposite side of our property is very hot, very dry. And so I did apply for another water saver coupon to take out the grass on this side. We've had this flame acanthus that has done really, really well this year. It's kind of getting less compact, so it might be something that I will trim and make a bit more compact this winter so that it grows in a little more bushy and more profuse with blooms. It does have, as we're talking here, I believe that's what, a queen butterfly? I think so. But it's done very well. It's kind of finally ceasing to bloom as profusely as it had earlier in the year. Its seed pods will certainly shoot things out, and I imagine we'll find some smaller flame acanthus seedlings here come spring. But have big plans for this section here. It's just so dry, and as you can see, we don't want to see bare soil like this, right? And so, of course, I had to cut my grass, which I don't love doing. I'd love to just leave the grass. But having this exposed, very dry, clearly lifeless soil is a sad sight. I have a few Gulf moly grasses here. We'll see how these do. They might like a little more moisture than this area provides, but I do think if they can hold on, they'll be a really a beautiful sight. With the other plants that we have here, adding in a desert willow that I think will look really great and thrive in those types of conditions. So that side, of course, is to be fully landscaped. All this grass will be removed. We have more of kind of understory trees planted here. That is a Flameleaf Sumac, which has grown really well, quite bushy to start, surrounded by a lot of long grass. This down here was a Mexican plum tree that I actually propagated myself, and so that's growing kind of from scratch, which is fun. We have a fragrant sumac there. I also have a cherry laurel, which seems to be doing okay, and then a Carolina buckthorn tree. It has a few of its little berries there that birds seem to like. I have a very rare Guayacan, which is probably going to take 100 years to grow and to be something very recognizable. And so this is apparently slow growing, quite rare though, but excited to have it in the ground. Got that from my friends at Pollinator. We have a few American Beautyberry bushes here that are a bit scraggly. I'll probably trim them up so they can grow in more of a bushy form, but the berries are really bright purple, magenta right now, kind of standing out. This is probably its standout season. So many of these here. These have periodically looked a bit wilty. I'm curious if this spot has been too much sun for them, or as well, just the soil quality is really, really low here. This has kind of runoff from the driveway, an asphalt driveway, so these might be particularly harsh soil conditions. Okay, jumping back here a little bit to our rainwater harvesting berms. These are berms that we dug out quite some time ago on our property. It's been fun to see these fill in. Right now we have Zexmenia here, the Zexmenia daisy, doing quite well and attracting a good number of pollinators here. You can see it buzzing with little flies and little bees. Above that is an Anacacho orchid tree, which really, its special season is spring, but even still, I love the way it looks here and has grown into fall. We have some big Lindheimer muley grasses, which have really done well on this side there. They're really nicely established, and they deserve for me to cut out and pull out much of that external turf grass and get them nicely mulched, but they are doing quite well. A really leggy fall aster here, and I feel like it should have bloomed. Maybe it'll bloom in October, but my hypothesis is that I should have pruned this back maybe halfway through the year, just so it would remain more compact. So hopefully this still blooms and puts on the show that fall aster is known for. Our chili pekin bushes have done really well. Tons of harvestable peppers here. Still many not yet to harvest, but these will be able to be harvested all the way through till our first frost. So I gotta get some of these off and do some things with them. Maybe make some hot sauce or something like that. Got some mealy blue sage here, and a nice little addition. Definitely something that the pollinators love. This berm here, we have our Turk's cap taking off. It's seeded out, and many of these are young Turk's caps in their first year that have really done well. So that's kind of fun based off of these more mature ones here. Coralberry, which as well has spread significantly, which was all part of the plan. And a nice young Texas redbud, which will, it's been nice and green for the whole year, but spring is really its season. This berm here too, I'd say the catmint has done quite well. I don't believe that's a Texas native. It was something we put in when we first moved in this property in 2020, but it's still done very well. Attracts a number of pollinators, and I think fun to have, and has been low to no maintenance. We have inland sea oats, some that we've sown directly, and some here that we planted out of the nursery. And those have done quite well too. Mexican buckeye, looking quite bushy, but has grown a good deal. Elbow bush. Then we have flame acanthus here. Likewise, done quite well. This one receives a bit less sun than that one out front, so it doesn't bloom as well, but certainly has bloomed, attracted its fair share of hummingbirds this year and butterflies. And this frog fruit has absolutely taken off. It started to bloom less here as we've entered fall, but it's still most certainly covered much of this berm as we had intended it to. Yalpin holly bush, which has done quite well here, and it looks like we'll be getting some berries, have some young berries here. A lot of those, which is great. Another copper canyon daisy. Frankly, it's been taken over by the frog fruit to some degree. It still looks good, and it flowers out in spring. And so, maybe no problem at all. We should kind of let it be. This berm needs some cleanup here. Flame acanthus and a Mexican plum that unfortunately got hit by a guest's car. So that's why it looks like it does, more bushy than actual tree-like. However, I have grown some other trees off of it, so there's a bit of a win there. And we won't get into this time, but that is the fruit orchard I have out there with a mulberry bush. We have a Barbados cherry tree, small tree, a couple of peach trees, apple trees, and pear trees. And so more on that at some other point, but that hasn't really been something we've focused all too much on. And then over here we have a pollinator garden that is almost done. I've put in a lot of plants here. This also was part of the SAW's water saver. And so we have some mealy blue sage here, which is a little bit spent, but still highly frequented by pollinators. I can see some bees and stuff on it right now. It's looking a little wilty, at least at the moment. But it has done really well this year. We have an Arizona milkweed, so not Texas native, but that has also done quite well. Mexican sage bush. We got some guara here. Not looking its best at the moment, but has performed quite well. We are, you know, into fall and everything's really in its first year. We have some Forsythia sage, some Texas lantana, all plants that have done quite well in establishing this year thus far. Have a really beautiful golden lead ball tree. Might be a little bit too close to the walkway and something I might consider honestly moving into this pollinator garden. So that might be a bit of a project this winter, but we'll see. Have an olive tree here, not native, but doing pretty well. And then along here we have some fragrant mist flower, white mist flower, and that's grown rather bushy but hasn't bloomed yet. So I kind of think it's a circumstance of not enough sun, and so I'd like to get that the sun that it prefers. This Beautyberry here has done very, very well. I can see some of the berries have been eaten already, some still very vibrant and magenta, and so that has done quite well. Another mealy blue sage, an Esperanza here that has just grown really tall but no blooms, and so that might be one that I want to move. Again, I think it doesn't have the right conditions for it. We do have a prickly pear here that has kind of become infested with cochineal, that the little insect, and I had to do my research to figure out what exactly this kind of white fungus looking thing is, but apparently that is some sort of webbing or protection that they create for themselves. And so I might actually just kind of excavate this prickly pear and move on. Apparently, you know, we don't have the quantity of natural predators for it, because that's why we're seeing this. I do have other prickly pear on my property that's not infested, and I'd really prefer to avoid that. So we'll see. This might just be a plant that I'll have to figure out how to discard. Have some Texas sage here, which was way overplanted, as well as a desert willow that I think is not in dry enough conditions that I would like to move. And so I want to move these Texas sage to a different spot on the property where I think that they'll be a bit more productive. And likewise the desert willow too. So this was a bed that, you know, I kind of gave a very early attempt at constructing. And so I think that there's a lot of opportunity to shift things around and change things here to make this a much more attractive entrance to this guest house here. Okay, and then this here is our front entryway, which I think has tons and tons of opportunity. Have a Texas sage here, which bloomed quite well a couple times this year, followed by some prickly pear and Texas kidneywood, as well as another Mexican plum tree here with a couple of Lindheimer muley grasses that are looking a little worse for wear at the moment, but I have to think that they're getting established here and they'll do a bit better in the following calendar year. Also have some Greg's mist flower, which is starting to bloom here. This will get a little bit more afternoon sun. But even this could maybe require or benefit from a bit more sun. Also looks like we got some sort of rodent or something digging into many of our root systems. Some autumn sage here, which I cut back and it's growing back, which is good. More coralberry, and then a couple of Texas persimmon trees here to line the front walkway. So a lot of opportunity in this space here, and I'll be very excited to design it a bit further. In the meantime, it's been fun to have a couple of test case plants to see what happens. And then here specifically, we do even have this Texas kidneywood. It looks like it's starting to get some of its little blooms there, which is nice to see. Okay, now here, you can see me underneath my live oak canopy, which is always something we enjoy on our property. But I'm going to start to head in the backyard here to talk about both what's happening and some plans. And so if we look here, this space is ultimately going to be a Texas native plant nursery space. So it'll be a small garden area that I will be using to root and propagate new plants from cuttings predominantly. And so that will go there. And our backyard is really a blank canvas. So, when we bought this home, there was literally nothing but the live oak trees and a fig tree over there. And so we've really kind of left it to its own devices. Apparently the story goes that, the owner previously tried to get a lawn back here, kind of a conventional lawn, and nothing would take because you can't grow anything under the live oaks. And so, we see this as a real beautiful asset and opportunity for us to create a very nice woodland space. And so that's our plans here. We have a ton of very beautiful, mature live oaks. We get owls up here. We see hawks swoop through here. And so, and of course the shade is incredible and makes this place vastly cooler in peak summer. And right now it's just so comfortable, even though it is 90 degrees projected to be today in San Antonio. So a lot of work to be done, but a lot of opportunity. We've put in a few kind of plants here just to enjoy, to see how they go. Actually, this crepe myrtle was acquired from a tree giveaway at the Botanical Garden. Not a native to San Antonio, but something that's quite well adapted here and does quite well. We have this button bush on our AC condensation line. I've made a video about that recently. That's doing quite well. Another Anacacha orchid tree to kind of be a patio style tree. This whole area here will ultimately be a flagstone patio above it with a pergola, the wooden structure to create a bit of cover and potentially grow some additional things on that and create greater shade and comfort, maybe an outdoor dining space at a minimum, just another place to sit and enjoy. We did shape this bed, to try to give some kind of initial concept to what the greater backyard might look like. And so, using the mature live oaks and, here this fig as our anchors here, we've created, conceptualized some designs for what beds can ultimately fill in here. One in this open space to wrap potentially a fire pit over there, but beds with some semblance of a pathway in between them. And so that kind of hardscaping will allow us to kind of imagine what a path will look like going through the entirety of the yard, while balancing too. We have a couple of young boys, and I think we're going to want a lot of good play space back here as well. And so we're thinking about how we balance those needs. The need for us to, as adults, to have some good places to socialize and host and have places to sit and enjoy, while also having features for our kids. And so we have a lot going on here, a lot that can continue to happen. We also have a guest house here alongside our house, which is occupied at the moment, so want to respect those folks' space. But this is just a little bit of a snapshot here, I hope. We have some things doing quite well and some things that have yet to fully establish. So if this prompts any questions, ideas, or comments or anything like that, be sure to leave them down below. And that's all I got for y'all. If there's anything you want me to highlight in a future garden tour or what have you, please let me know. All right, y'all.